MBT started in the 1970s in Germany, usually as a simple process for producing fuel from waste. But at that time oil and gas was very cheap, so it was not economically, and those processes were cancelled. MBT came back in the 80s. That time the major attempt was reducing landfill volume, having higher compression of the waste in the landfill, and that was done with very simple MBT technologies that also reduced the contamination of the landfill leachate and of the gas production. In the early 1990s, Germany got a new law which was similar to the European landfill directive, which came 10 years later, that has set landfill acceptance criteria, and that criteria required a treatment of the waste before landfilling. First it was only done for thermal techniques for incineration, but due to complaints by the German federal states, alternative technologies had to be considered, and to get a high level of degradation of the organic waste components, there were high technical solutions tested with some pilot plants, and in 2001 the new boundary values and the new law was set that had very high requirements for MBT plants as well as for incinerators. To fulfill these regulations, all German MBT plants had to be newly built or significantly modified. This had to be finished until June 2005, which was a very short time. And in 2005, 45 new plants started operation, and they have the latest technology, or have had that latest technology at that time. And that was a serious challenge because all these technologies were not approved in full scale, and that's why we had an adoption period of about 1 year, sometimes even 2, until those plants were running exactly how they were wanted to be. After that, we had a lot of good working MBT plants here in Germany, and I know in other European countries as well. But now economical challenges were coming to MBT. First is that we have a very high incineration capacity, and incinerators are fighting for the waste, making extremely low prices that takes away the input of MBT plants. The other thing is that secondary raw material prices are increasing, so it is worth putting more valuable materials out of the waste. Germany already has a separate collection for waste, but there's a residual waste for what is not put in the recycling bins or in the bio-waste bins, and that still has to be treated and still contains a lot of plastics, metals and so on. So now operators are trying to remove also valuable components from this residual waste. But that's still a problem because it is not so clean and it's hard to market these recyclables. So this is just an initial phase, but it will become more and more important in the next years. So that's the way MBT will go. It's really a material separation technology. That's the most important task for MBT.